Okay, good morning, everybody. Everybody's well. Happy Monday. For those that are joining us live, thanks so much for being here. For those that are here anytime, thanks for being with us anytime. Last week we spent some time talking about narrative as it plays out into the world. That's sort of been the area that we've been focusing on. Narrative as it plays out. The narrative of survivors versus heroes. The narrative, the idea of what sacrifice means. Now, when we speak about last week, we speak about the soldiers, we speak about people that sacrifice for great things. We say it because we're trying to build a narrative around it. Like, just that's what we're trying to do. I just want to share with you my intentions. As you discuss sacrifice, we now create a narrative in our mind that says, in order to achieve, I need to sacrifice. That's a narrative. Not everyone has that narrative, right? There are people that have the narrative of, in order to achieve, I need to get lucky, or I need to find the right thing, right? How many times have you seen that? Or have you thought that? In order to achieve success, I'm in the wrong job. I'm in the wrong space. I'm in the wrong relationship. I'm doing the wrong thing. Now, that may be true, but it also may be, I'm not sacrificing. So when I'm in work and I don't feel fulfilled, it could be because I'm not sacrificing. And when I'm in a relationship and I don't feel like it's working, it could be because I'm not sacrificing. Now, it could be other things too. I'm not taking away from other options. And there's always going to be someone that's like, I'm sacrificing like crazy and my partner isn't. Okay. But there is an option called I'm not sacrificing enough. And so as a result, I'm not achieving success. That's not everyone's narrative. And if it is, it's not everyone's narrative in everything in their lives. So while they may have it at home, they won't have it at work. Or they have it at work, but they don't get it at home. You see this all the time. Guy comes to work and he's like staying till midnight, getting it perfect. Then he goes home, and after the first slight bit of discomfort, like him and his wife are fighting again. And you're like, well, just a minute ago you were at work going through a spreadsheet, line by line, because you wanted it for it to be perfectly. You want everything to work, and you suffered through all of the bad feedback that you got from your managers and this and that, and you did it with a smile. You get home, a little bit of discomfort at the dinner table, and you fly off the handle? What happened? Sacrifice, it works, makes sense. I heard that story. Someone taught me that narrative. Maybe as a kid, I was in school and I heard a class about how if you want to get into college, you got to sacrifice. And I bought it and I got into a good college. And then I did it again and I did it again, did it again. Then I got to work. So I've been hearing the narrative of if you want to become successful, you got to sacrifice. So it's 12 o'clock at night and I'm going through the spreadsheet and I'm getting all this negative feedback and I'm taking it like, like a champ. And it makes sense. That's what we do. We sacrifice. But then I saw a different narrative growing up because I got stuck into the world of the Western world, and the Western world has fed me these fake stories on screens in which marriages is always birds chirping. And so when I'm sitting at home and there's discomfort at my table because there's a disagreement or miscommunication, I don't have a narrative that says, yeah, it's called marriage. And marriage is the union of two souls that are in two entirely different bodies with two entirely different ways of seeing the world. There's gonna be some conflict there. Gotta sacrifice. We're not talking about sacrificing and heroes and survivors just to remember them. We're doing it because that's our narrative that we have to adopt. We can't keep on blaming everybody for stuff. I'm not saying people aren't responsible. There's always people responsible. Fine. But we gotta pull it in more. And it's not easy. It's not easy to say it's on me. I gotta figure out what parts of this failure was really my bad. What parts of this disappointment was my bad. And then take responsibility even for a piece of it, because I can't move forward if I don't take responsibility, and I can't take responsibility unless I'm recognizing that The reason why I wasn't more successful in this particular area could be because I didn't sacrifice enough. It could be that the kid is not thriving because I, as a parent, didn't sacrifice enough time with him. That could be. I don't have to blame his teachers all the time. I'm not saying there isn't an option that his teachers have a problem. Okay. But it's not, life isn't binary. There's shades. Sacrifice for what you believe in is a requirement to be successful at the thing you believe in. And it's a narrative in your mind. It is. It's a narrative. Someone put it in your head. Which is why in some areas you're willing to sacrifice for and you're not thrown by it. And in some areas you're not. When I was a kid growing up, I understood that to be a good basketball player, I had to work like crazy. And I loved basketball. And I would practice forever. Forever. I never left a game where I missed a shot and was yelling at the ball. Or quitting the sport. I would just sit on the court afterwards or go home to my backyard and just keep on shooting. That's a narrative. The narrative is to be great at this game, you have to sacrifice. The minute I sat in a classroom and didn't get it the first time in high school, I was like, not for me. I'm like, Ma, not for me. Hey, good, breaking news, math ain't for me. Next day, global studies, it's not for me. Chemistry, definitely not for me. It doesn't make any sense. And I was like, yeah, but don't you want to maybe study? I'm like, I don't get it. She's like, yeah, I know the whole study thing, review and homework and study for the test and that whole process of how you acclimate information into your bed. And I'm like, no, I get it. It's not for me. I don't have a narrative. I don't have the narrative. I'm trying to figure out what subjects I like versus understand that to get information in your head, you got to sacrifice. There's a narrative out there. And look at your life and ask yourself, what parts of my life does the narrative say sacrifice to success? And what parts of my life does the narrative say you can figure it out early on? And you'll see. In those parts, when you hit a wall, you're probably blaming somebody else. Or you're probably resigning to give up because you think it's a miss. Maybe it's not. Maybe you just don't have the right narrative to go to the other parts of your life. Not in every case. You can pivot a million times in life. You could start off in the wrong job and shift 100%. But that narrative is critical. I will talk about it. All right, everybody, have a great day. With God's help, I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.
Living on a lifeline. The world doesn't ever seem to change. Looking for the sunshine, but you're caught up in the rain. It's like your eyes are wide open, but you cannot see. You're watching life pass you by like 1, 2, 3. Walking in destruction. The winds of life blur your vision. All the devastation. Forever feels like you're on the run. It's time. No one else can set you free. You're locked inside, and only you have got the key.